Gustin Time.
Close to the electronics, there's no turning back. Not that we ever would. Victims of Jedi mind tricks. None of this makes any sense. None of this makes any sense. Skies with beast and clocks bend. None of this makes any sense. Shipping to another dimension. Only if we pay attention. Stay ups in our daily lives. We eat it with forks and knives. It's just in time again. Shadow men in the neighborhood. CIA in the neighbor shed. Mothman hovers somewhere close. We don't notice, but we should. Messages beamed into our heads. Wonder which ones of those. None of this makes any sense. None of this makes any sense. James and Shonna back again. Sure to make your head spin.
Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Gustin Time. I, of course, am James, and joining me, as always, is the sparkling entity I like to refer to as Goobatron.
That's me.
So, it's been a while since we've been here. There's some reasons for that. Shonna had tuberculosis or something, and I broke my fucking foot. So, that's why you haven't seen us. Plus, life is just crazy anyway. Today on Gustin Time, we're going to be talking about the Mandela Effect. What do you think about that? That's going to be fun. So, the Mandela Effect pretty much is there's a whole group of people out there, a lot of us actually, have memories that don't really jive with the way history is recorded. Certain things like the Berenstain Bears versus the Berenstain Bears. You have the Monopoly Man apparently had a monocle at one point. The Coca-Cola logo has changed. Jif peanut butter used to be Jiffy. All kinds of crazy shit that doesn't make sense. But that's perfect for us because none of this makes any sense. So what is one Mandela effect that really bothers you?
So the one that really stands out to me, and actually the one that I first learned about the effect, is the Berenstain Bears.
Yes, that one that bothers me too.
Yeah, and the reason for that is because I had the books as a child.
I did too.
And I remember talking to my mom about them. I remember her reading them to me. I remember the book. I remember the spelling. I remember the covers. Yeah, there's no way. And when I first heard that it was actually Berenstain and that it was this effect, Mandela effect, that's actually the first thing that, alerted me to this whole concept. And then I went down a huge rabbit hole. But
Right.
So that's the one for me that stands out the most. I can see it clearly in my mind. I remember talking about it, so that one's for me.
The first time I heard about the Mandela effect was actually when it first started. As everyone knows, I used to be a farmer, and I was listening to NPR one day, and they had a special on the Mandela effect, and it started with, people remembered Nelson Mandela dying in prison in the 1980s, and he didn't. So that's what first introduced me to the Mandela Effect. And at first I thought, well, that's, people just misremember shit, which we do. Let's be honest here. Human memory is kind of shitty.
Yeah.
But I mean, there are certain things that thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of people remember being one way, and in reality, it's a different way. There's a lot of different ideas about how this happened. Number one being just human memory is shitty. And it is. We know that. But what's really interesting is all of this started, I think, in 2015, if I'm not mistaken. And that's about the time that the Large Hadron Collider came back online in CERN, Switzerland. And a theory about that is the super collider at CERN changed the weight of an electron, and it essentially destroyed our universe, and we just shifted into a parallel universe where things were a little different. I don't really buy into that. What about you?
Oh, well, I have a lot of things to say about that, actually. So one thing I wanted to talk about, as far as like trying to figure this out, is when I was going to school for the parapsychology program at the Rhine. We were and this was a very scientific based program. And so scientific method and all of that. So I remember my teachers always saying, always think about Occam's razor, which
Right.
is like, the least complex theory is what you should pay most attention to. Or
Yeah,
something,
so the
something
most
to that effect.
the most likely explanation is usually the correct one.
Right, the least difficult.
Right.
And so when thinking about that, like the parallel universe theory, well, then you have to prove that there are parallel universes, right?
Yep.
And
Absolutely.
then you have to prove that they merged or departed a certain way or whatever, you know
Right.
what I mean? Like there's so many additional pieces to that from what I learned in scientific method type of, perspective, I would put that more to the back burner.
Right, because
not going to discount it.
no, of course not. But I mean, it is a valid scientific theory. And I actually happen to think that theory is probably correct. But
Which theory? Occam's razor or the
multiple universes.
Okay.
I think that's probably true. I don't know. I'm not a scientist, of course. But
you think that's true for this effect?
no, I don't think it has anything to do with the Mandela effect. I just think that
believe it's true.
Yeah, I believe that there are multiple different realities.
Okay.
And I mean, if that is actually true, that explains a lot of things, not just what they say about the Mandela effect. We'll get into that on a different show. That's far too complex to go into right now. But I watched this film. It's called The Mandela Effect Phenomenon. And it's on Tubi. It's free. And right from the beginning, the guys talking about the Mandela effect are absolutely unhinged. Like, it looks like an Alex Jones video from the early 2000s. They're screaming about stuff, yelling, just going nuts. It's fantastic. If you like unhinged, crazy behavior, watch that for sure. It's great. But they do a great job of going through all of these Mandela effects. And actually, one of the very first ones they talk about is this guy remembers walking into a dollar store and seeing a Coca-Cola machine. And on the side was the Coca-Cola label, emblem, logo, whatever. And he remembers it having a dash between Coca and Cola. And a lot of people remember this. But what I have... my family collects a lot of old, weird shit because that's what we do. And we actually got a Coca-Cola machine from the mid-1970s. And it was stocked full of Coca-Cola. So this is a Coca-Cola bottle from the mid-1970s. It's a 6.5 fluid ounce, what they call contour bottle. And we know it's from the 1970s because of this. It says return for refund right there. That wasn't started until the late 1960s. And on the bottom, it has Nashville stamped into the glass. And that was phased out in 1982. So we know for a fact this bottle is from the mid-1970s. And if you look at the Coca-Cola label, the logo right there, there's no wavy line. It's just a dot. So that one, these bottles have not changed since we got them in the early 2000s. I think we got these in 2002, 2003, something like that. And I know that has never changed. It's always looked like that. So that one, I'm going to say I just debunked it because
Nice.
there's the logo right there. So that one was cool. And I actually have evidence of another one, the Volkswagen logo. A lot of people remember the Volkswagen logo never being separated between the V and the W. And they remember it just being one symbol with no separation. Well, because my family is strange, on this property we have a 1962 Super Beetle. And the cool thing about that is the Volkswagen logo is not on the hood or in the middle of the steering wheel where they usually are. Instead, they have this wolf standing on top of the letter W. But on the front hubcaps, there is the Volkswagen logo. And I'm going to put that right here. I took this photo today, on the day that we're recording this. And as you can see, there's a line that separates the V from the W. That has been on this property since the 1980s, and that's never changed. So I think I just debunked another one.
Nice. See, it's good. It's good to be a hoarder and not be a hoarder, but save old things.
You can call my family hoarders because we are. I still have a box full of AV cables from the 1980s that I refuse to throw away because I might need them. But I mean, that's just two examples. And there are Mandela effects that bother the shit out of me. Just like you, the Berenstain Bear thing. That I read those books when I was a kid. I know it was not Berenstain Bears.
No.
No way.
No.
There's another one with the board game Monopoly.
Yeah.
So the Monopoly man, everyone says that he had a monocle and they took it away. This one is a little more complicated, but if you look at the Monopoly man and you do a side-by-side comparison with another character, which I'm going to put right here, it's Mr. Peanut. And if you look at these two, you can see Mr. Peanut also has a top hat and a cane, and he's holding the brim of his top hat, just like the Monopoly man is. The difference in their dress is Mr. Peanut has a monocle.
Yeah.
So this could be the human brain doing some stupid shit and misremembering things.
Right.
That seems pretty likely to me. Now, I know it seems like I'm just going through and saying the Mandela effect is not real at this point. But what we need to do is come to this problem with a skeptical mind.
Yeah. And what you're cognitive dissonance, right, is one thing, which I just brought it up so that I wouldn't forget, but it says when reality conflicts with what you strongly remember, your brain resists changing the memory. So it's like your brain can't accept that you're wrong, basically, right?
Yep.
And it says it can feel easier to believe something external changed than to accept being wrong.
And another, yeah.
I feel like that's we can prove that every day.
Yep, we sure
with
can.
People, with their beliefs and
Absolutely.
their political stuff, and how different people can see the same thing completely differently and recall it differently. So
Right. There's a very recent example in the political sphere. I posted a video on Facebook just the other day, and it's a collection of Democrats from the late 90s all the way through the mid 2010s calling for closed borders and deportation. So that pissed a lot of people off. But the point I'm trying to make is we all remember things differently. I don't know what you remember versus what I remember.
right.
We can't ever know that. It's just like I don't know if the color red looks the same to me as it does to you.
Right, and maybe our brains are trying to justify the inconsistency in some way.
Right.
But what gets me is it's so many people with the same things, though.
Right.
So that's what makes it a little strange.
So we actually talked about this one earlier today, and we have conflicting views on this one.
Which
Jif
one's
peanut
that?
butter.
Oh, yeah.
So Jif peanut butter. I have core memories from when I was a kid. We were not exactly well off when I was a kid. And we would go to the supermarket and we'd, get our peanut butter. And I would always tell my mom as she grabbed the discount peanut butter, I would always say, Mom, they say choosy moms choose Jif.
Okay.
And you're not a choosy mom. So I clearly remember it being Jif peanut butter, but you don't, right?
I'm questioning myself now on that one. Because I feel like I remember both.
Right.
And that doesn't make sense. But I feel like I remember seeing the little bottle thing, like, in both ways, honestly.
So I have another explanation for this one. And it reaches back to pretty much when we were all kids. Doesn't matter how old you are. Memories from childhood play a big role in the way that we see the world. So what I remember as a kid, I remember two separate competing brands of peanut butter, Jif and Skippy. Mm-hmm. So Jif and Skippy, it's easy just on that fact alone to switch the two around and
right.
Skip and Jiffy, right? But there's another product that holds core memories for me as a kid, Jiffy Pop. It's the popcorn that was in that little aluminum pan thing with the foil on top.
God.
You remember that? And you would put it over the burner of the stove and it would pop and the whole thing would blow up. And that was called Jiffy Pop.
Yep,
so
I do remember that.
You have the word Jiffy there. And that's also a key childhood memory, right?
Yeah.
Because
that one I'm not so... Yeah, my memory is not as good on that one, and what you're saying would make complete sense.
So you have all of these memories from childhood, right? And as we grow older, our memories start to fail, all that stuff. We all know that happens. So it's easy for me to assume that those product names get all jumbled up in your brain from childhood. And it's easy to remember peanut butter being called Jiffy when you had Skippy and Jiffy Pop. So,
well, and it's interesting how all of these effects are things that we experienced. It's all memory stuff, right? Because it's always in the pretty kind of far in the past. One of the other ones, or I'll just quickly say some of the other ones, because when I was little, I was always watching cartoons and movies and stuff. And so, in Tarnation, what's his name? Yosemite Sam?
Yeah.
Saying that he never said that. I remember that clear as day. In the cartoon, and apparently he did say, so I did some research on this one, because I remember it as clear as day. Like, over and over, like, every time I watched it, was like something he said. He has little guns and everything. Apparently he did say that, but it was on a record. And
Okay.
I never had a Looney Tunes record, though. And apparently, I think, was it this one or another one? I can't remember. I think he might have said it in something else, too. But again, something that I never saw. It might have just been the record. I never had a Looney Tunes record. And I, clear as day, remember watching the cartoon, the old cartoon, and him saying that.
I don't know how many thousands of hours of Looney Tunes I've watched in my life. I still watch it to this day.
It's crazy.
I've never heard him say it.
Well, I know, and people
No.
have gone back and watched them all.
Yeah, that one.
People who remember, and it's not there.
I don't remember that one at all. I've never heard Yosemite Sam say what in tarnation.
And another one is, what is that? Snow White, where the mirror, mirror on the wall. Like, I remember that. Apparently, that's not it. It's magic.
No, it's magic mirror on the wall.
Yeah. I remember saying that.
And we all
as a
said it.
child.
Yep.
And they say, there's examples later on in different movies and stuff where it's mirror, mirror, and it's like, okay, we could be mixing up the memories that way, or is it saying it that way in future versions? Because that's what we remember.
Right.
From the original.
Speaking of film and cartoons and stuff, one of the biggest ones is Luke, I am your father from Star Wars. So that one gets repeated over and over and over again. My favorite repetition of that line is actually from a Chris Farley movie. And he does it through the fan. Luke, I am your father. And in fact, James Earl Jones actually said, Luke, I am your father in an episode of The Big Bang Theory.
Yeah.
But the line was never, Luke, I am your father. He says, no, I am your father. But when you watch the original version, when he says, no, I am your father, it's easy for you to think that he's saying Luke instead of no.
Right.
Because of the way that Darth Vader's voice sounds.
Well, and here's where I want to, another one is Mr. Rogers. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Well, it's actually
This neighborhood. Yes.
It's this neighborhood.
Yeah.
Go. But I swear to God, it was the.
So even in the movie about Mr. Rogers, Tom Hanks, he says it. I think he says it both ways actually. But Tom Hanks is very famous for the Mandela Effect. He's got another one.
What?
Forrest Gump.
Oh yeah.
So he says in the film, Mama always said life was like a box of chocolates, because that's grammatically correct. Everyone remembers him saying, Mama always said life is like a box of chocolates. But when he's telling the story, his mom's dead. So, I mean, it's grammar, and I always side on the side of proper grammar. So,
Well, one thing that I was thinking about too is, remember online, there's this, I don't know what it is. It's this thing that says a word, and green needle and brainstorm.
yes.
And depending on what you're looking at or just whatever. And
Right.
that's called the McGurk effect.
Yes.
And there's
yes, it
other
is.
ones too.
Yep.
So,
The most famous one was Yanni Laurel.
right. That one
I
too.
actually, that was big in 2018, and I did a spoof of that audio. I said two completely different things.
So that's, I think there are, it's possible.
And that's a real
those.
effect. You can actually go do
Right.
this for yourself, and you can actually make your brain hear either one. I've done it many times. It's a really cool effect, and if you've never done
weird.
it, please go do it. It's fun. It's great.
Yeah.
Makes you trip out for a minute. But we have saved the best Mandela effect for last.
Yeah, that's what I was just going to say.
So this one comes with all kinds of baggage. And that is the Fruit of the Loom logo.
Yeah.
Millions of people remember the Fruit of the Loom logo having a cornucopia. I remember it. Do you remember it?
100%.
Yeah. everyone in my family remembers the cornucopia.
Well,
In fact,
we grew up poor, so
Right.
I had the underwear, I had the shirts, I
Yep.
had the
we all had Fruit of the Loom, and it always had a cornucopia. And I have a clear memory of walking through Walmart one day and seeing it without the cornucopia, and I'm like, well, that sucks. They took the cornucopia out of the logo.
out. Yeah.
And this is actually relatively new to me. I didn't know that Fruit of the Loom said they never had a fucking cornucopia in their logo.
Yeah.
So Snopes investigated it, and they went through and they looked at all of these different logos through the history of Fruit of the Loom, and they never found a cornucopia. Ever. So this actually pretty much drove a TikToker crazy.
Yeah.
And she went down the rabbit hole, and she was like, no, it had a fucking cornucopia. So she started doing all of this research, and lo and behold, she found a trademark registration for Fruit of the Loom with a cornucopia in it, filed in the U.S. Archives.
Good job. Good job.
But here's the thing. That trademark application was rejected. So they never used it, is what they say.
Right.
But it's easy for anyone to go online and see all of these different photos of the Fruit of the Loom logo with the cornucopia. You can find them everywhere. And Snopes redid an article about it, and they said that there's 2 fakes that people use to make you think that it had a cornucopia. And this is where I draw the line. I'm calling fucking bullshit right now. And I think we can prove it. So I went down a rabbit hole today, and I found this video. And there's a video game that came, or a board game, excuse me, that came out in 1991 or 1992 called Advertising. And basically they give you 3 clues, and you have to guess the brand. And all of the clues are based on advertising. And one of the clues, the 3 hints are underwear, cornucopia, apples, and grapes. And the answer is Fruit of the Loom.
Yeah,
so if it
absolutely.
never had a fucking cornucopia, why would they put it in a board game clue in the 90s?
Right.
Okay. That one, absolutely, in my mind and in the mind of a lot of other people, was there.
And I could be wrong, but I feel like someone also found a very old garment. A shirt,
Yeah,
I think. I could be wrong, but...
There's photos of it. It's a black t-shirt, and the
Yes.
logo's all faded.
Yeah.
Snopes said that was a fake.
Okay. And it
there was-
could be, because...
it could be.
That's the other issue now, is
Yeah.
with AI and everything. That just makes all of this even more fucking annoying
It makes
and
it
complicated.
so much more hard for
Yeah, it's not
anyone
cool, man.
to figure it out.
You don't,
And
you don't know what's real or what somebody made.
right. And I think there's a reason for that. And I'm going to give you my little theory about what the Mandela Effect is.
All right.
All right. So I think it's a combination of a lot of things.
Yeah.
Most prevalently, it's probably people misremembering things. But I think there's a dark side to it, especially with the cornucopia. And had to light a cigarette for this. So I've done a lot of thinking about this, and the news is everywhere today, right?
Yeah.
Inundated with news articles from every side, and they all contradict each other. So
Yeah.
wouldn't it be very beneficial if somehow the people who are in control of all of this came up with a way to edit the past? That way, if someone remembers something some way and they're a political adversary, they can just call them crazy, right? Completely discount them. So wouldn't it be easy to just plant these little seeds in society everywhere and fool everyone into thinking things were one way when they were actually the way we remember them? That way you start to distrust your own memories and start to doubt yourself.
Absolutely.
And it becomes so much easier for people to edit the past that way. And if you think
And-
that I'm making this up, just go read the novel 1984 by George Orwell. It happens.
And in addition, or kind of as a tangent to that, I think it could also be psyops.
Oh, absolutely.
Where they're testing and trying to figure out, right, how people react, or how our memories work, or how we can be tricked or whatever.
See what works and what doesn't.
To use for basically what you're...
Yeah.
What you said.
Totally makes sense that it's a psyop that make us remember things differently. Or trick us into thinking we were wrong the whole time.
And how many times has it been proven? Well, maybe not. Well, some of it's conspiracy theory, but I truly believe that the government or whoever runs tests on us.
Oh, absolutely. That's 100% proven.
On social media and all that shit. So we know from the beginning of time pretty much that whoever's in control...
They make the rules. They
test shit.
One of my favorite quotes is, history is always written by the victors. Think about that for a minute. It's true. You don't ever hear about all of the genocide on the North American continent when the United States of America was founded. You never hear about that because we won that conflict, right? You don't hear...
Well, we're lied to all the fucking time, too.
Oh, yeah.
In our history books in school and stuff. Like, when I went to college and learned some of the actual reality of what, compared to what I was taught in, like, elementary school, I was like, what is this?
So, are you a fan of the novelist Philip K. Dick?
I don't know him.
So, there's a fantastic little book that he did long time ago called The Man in the High Castle. Have you ever heard about that?
Mm-mm.
So basically what happens in The Man in the High Castle is there's an alternate reality where the Nazis won World War II. And there's a guy that can go between realities, and he brings films from this reality into the alternate reality, and they're banning them. And basically the country split in half. The west half is controlled by the Japanese and the right half is controlled by the Germans. But it gets really interesting because Philip K. Dick said later on in his life that actually happened to him, and he was going to an alternate dimension where the Nazis won World War II. He wrote a book about it. And I think it was Amazon Prime. They did a whole TV series called The Man in the High Castle, and if you haven't seen it, please go watch it. It's phenomenal. But Philip K. Dick was weird. He's one of my favorite authors, and he wrote the novel that inspired Blade Runner, another weird movie. That novel that inspired that was called Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep? So if you've never heard of Philip K. Dick, go check him out. Awesome stuff. Great author. How are we doing for time?
I think it's time.
Oh, cool. Well, I guess that fit pretty perfectly. I'm going to be coming up with a Patreon for Gustin Time where I'm going to start going into some books and analyzing them and giving you a review on them. So that'll be coming soon. We're going to start doing things like this from now on. I'm sure you've noticed that the quality is a lot better. We've come up with a new way of recording. First go, it's kind of weird. Do you have anything?
I covered everything that I wanted to, so I'm
cool.
Good.
Well, Shonna's going to be relocating, so we might be appearing a little bit less for a little bit while she gets some stuff sorted out. But don't fear, we're going to stay here. We're not going anywhere.
I'm gonna try to hustle, man, so that we're so that we're not here less.
Oh, also, I filmed a UFO the other night, and I put that up on the YouTube channel. So if you're watching this on YouTube, check out the stuff on the YouTube channel below. I have a video of a UFO that I recorded the other night. It's fucking weird as shit.
Yeah.
Let's see. What else?
We got lots of stories to tell
Oh,
still.
God. We have so many stories. We're never going to run out of
personal,
content. Yes.
Personal sightings and stuff. Yeah.
Also, I have a guest lined up for the show coming up soon. One of our fans, just about a year ago, was in a medically induced coma for over a month. And she came back with some weird stories. So we're going to talk to her. I have to figure out the logistics of how we're going to record that. That's going to be fucking nightmare. But, I mean, hey, we got an episode of Gustin Time for you right here. So remember, none of this makes any sense. And we'll see you in time.
Gustin Time.
Word.
Thank you for tuning in. Can't wait to see you again for another episode. We appreciate the download. We'll see you in time. Gustin Time, that is somewhere down the line. Somewhere in time. Shonna and James will be back if they survive the next psychic attack, with more stories to make you wonder what kind of spell we're under. We'll see you in time. Gustin Time, that is somewhere down the line. And a point in time with curious intent. Broadcast on the internet. Don't forget to like and follow yesterday or tomorrow. Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok. Don't forget to set your clock to Gustin Time as you walk the line. We'll see you in. We'll see you in. We'll see you in time.